Alright, Shalom. I'm the brother Tasiyat coming back with another video. But before I start off, I would like to give all praises and the highest honor to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Kakodash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akiyam across this world, who are spreading this knowledge in truth and sincerity. And Shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening. And may the election be for your households. Khan Shalom. So as you can see the title, Joel chapter 2. Just want to go into a few verses because you can see right now that also what is being spoken of in Joel chapter 2 about a war, and America is going to be totally destroyed with nuclear fire. And this will be, the climax, so to say, of within World War III. And it's not yet coming to a point that World War III is now reaching its climax, but you can see that countries are invading one another. I saw an article that Israel now has threatened an attack against China, you know. So Russia is making moves, China, Israel, the whole thing with Palestine going on. So we are in some times of war, man. Okay. So without further ado, Joel chapter 2, verse 1. It says, Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. So we gotta warn the people, okay? For the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Okay, the day of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, judgment day is very close. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. So it's gonna be a very dark day, sorrowful. A great people and the strong, there had not been ever the like. And this is not speaking about actual people, it's symbolically for missiles, okay, nuclear missiles. You might think like, yeah, whatever, man. We're gonna read it. It says, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Okay, because after this World War III happens, there won't be no war after it anymore. Why? Because Yahweh Shai is gonna return in World War III, and when he has come, our war, is gonna be done. It's gonna be our kingdom that will be established. We're gonna have peace. Okay, so no more war. Okay, all the nuclear weapons that are being made will be launched in this up and coming war. Okay, a fire devoured before them. Okay, the land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. So before the nuclear missile strike, the land is still beautiful, but after the nuclear missile strike, America is gonna be desolate, man. Smoke, dust, black. You know what happens when something is getting burned. Okay, and the scripture says America is gonna be burning for a long time, man. All right, and you might think like, okay, what does America burning have to do with me living in Europe, for example? Well, if you have noticed, America is a great harlot spoken about in Revelation 17 that is now basically having the most influence on all the countries of the world. Okay, so everybody is following America in their footsteps, these countries. So America is like the leader, you know. So when they fall, the rest follows. Okay, it says here, and fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burned. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. Nothing is gonna escape these nuclear missiles, all right? The appearance of them, only how Bashim Yashai is gonna protect his elect. Okay? Like the noise, it says, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Okay, horses, okay, make a lot of noise. And also when you look at movies, when you see a lot of horses running, let's say in a place where there's a lot of sand, you see a cloud of dust, coming when they're running. And that same cloud, that is also what you see with a missile, when a lot of missiles are being launched. Okay, and horsemen are a horse is very powerful. These missiles are very powerful, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoured the stubble. So, like the noise of chariots, a chariot in this case, when you were in the Roman times, you had like a chariot that people were sitting in, and they had two horses, for example, riding the chariot like a vehicle. You know, that is what it's speaking about. You know, shall they leap like the noise of a flame of fire that devoured the stubble. Okay, so when you have stubble and you put it on fire, it makes like a flickering sound. You know, speaking about the nuclear missile. Okay, as a strong people set in battle array. All right. So as a strong people set in better array is being symbolically like strong people that are gonna be fighting, you know, these missiles. Before their face, the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one trust another. They shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. So when you have warriors, you know, they are fighting with swords and that. But these type of warriors, speaking about the nuclear missiles, are not going to be wounded by the sword. And what is the sword? The missile defense system. Okay, these rockets are constantly being intercontinental ballistic missiles are constantly being how do you say that, updated. So the missiles that they have right now are not going to be stopped by the uh, 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 um, defense systems, you know. So it says here, neither shall one trust another. They shall walk everyone on his path. You know, it's not going to be like a chaotic group of people that bumps into each other when they are trying to fight, but it's going to be well structured. All the rockets, all the missiles that are going to be launched will hit that target. You know, they will not bump, you know, into each other, the missiles. And now, let's say the target was supposed to go to Washington. Now the missile goes to whatever, man, Florida or some shit, you know. So it's gonna hit that what it needs to hit. Okay. It says, they shall run to and fro in the city, they shall run upon the wall, they shall climb up upon the houses, they shall enter in at the windows like a thief. And this is like a very good explanation of these missiles, what they are going to do, because it's you can clearly see that it's not talking about actual people. You know, it's giving similarities, like how it would be if actual people would storm in and trying to take over your city, for example. You know, it says, they shall enter in at the windows like a thief. So the windows speaking about the clouds, the firmament. Okay, these missiles are gonna go up, like you see in my hand. You know, it goes out of the screen. So the line here, that is so to say the window, the firmament. You know, the clouds, and when the rockets come down, they pierce through the window. You know, so when you look at the clouds, all of a sudden you see it rains missiles. You know, so if, like you have maybe seen the movie 300, where it rains with all the arrows that are being shot. First they go up and then they go down, you know. So it says here also in the scriptures that, you know, many millions of missiles are going to be launched. All right, because in the missile you also have warheads. So one missile has multiple warheads in the missile, you know, which means a lot of more explosions are going to happen, man. Okay, destruction. It says the earth shall quake before them. It's going to be a massive earthquake because of all the impact these missiles are going to have. The heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. You know, if I'm correct, you know, they speak about the elites, you know, sun, moon, you know, their soothsayers won't be able to see anymore, or they won't be able to do anything against its destruction. And if I'm correct, also, you know, it's gonna be actually dark, you know, because of all the dust, smoke. You're not gonna be able to see nothing, you know. Um, so if I'm correct, that is what it's speaking about in this verse. And I made a previous video also concerning this. It says, "And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army." Okay, his army of the Lord, in this case, speaking about the nuclear missiles. For his camp is very great, nuclear missiles. For he is strong that executed his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide it, man? Okay, it's a very terrible day. You don't want to be caught up in Judgment Day. without protection from of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay, people think it's a joke and be like, yeah, I can wait till Jesus returns and whatnot. And I saw a video of people in Uganda waiting for the rapture in the forest. It makes no sense, man. You know. So when Yahushua returns, don't think it's gonna be all lovey dovey. He's gonna bring a sword upon this earth. Let me see. Nations. Let me see. Sword. Yahushua says in Matthew 10, verse 34, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. He's coming with destruction, okay? He's going to come with a big chariot, which is a so-called UFO, and he's going to bring mass destruction with him, with the angels. So with that, hope this edifying. Wanted to speak a little bit about Joel chapter 2 before I go to my appointment. So with that, I want to give all praises and the highest honor to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Kakadash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akim across this world who are spreading this knowledge and truth and this sincerity. And shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening. And may the election be upon your households. Khan shalom.